Today, we're visiting Canada, in a city that's home to an NHL hockey team that has never won the Stanley Cup. It's okay, guys, it's only been about 50 years. A city that's home to the second largest Chinatown and third largest film and TV production in North America. Whether it's in the water, mountains, or forests, you can't help but get outside to explore all the nature it has to offer. Despite their approximate 165 rain days a year, it's the hometown of high-quality brands like Lululemon and Arc'teryx, or everyone's favorite pot-smoking comedian and tech YouTuber.
Caught it.
Pack your raincoat and grab a bag of milk, cause we're heading to Vancouver. Jacob here. Welcome to Destinations Explained, a fun series I do that dives into destinations from around the world. If you haven't already, like this video, watch till the end, and down below, comment any places I miss. Vancouver is among British Columbia's youngest cities. The metropolis is located in the traditional and presently unceded territories of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples of the Coast Salish group. With the creation of sawmills in the area, the city's lengthy relationship with logging began and became the nucleus around which Vancouver formed. The arrival of the Canadian Pacific Railway in the 1880s caused the mill's central role to wane, but it still remained important to the local economy until it closed in the 1920s. The Great Vancouver Fire in June 1886 ravished the entire city, resulting in the establishment of the Vancouver Fire Department. Later on, early Vancouver was dominated by huge companies, which fueled economic activity and led to the rapid development of the new city. And in 1890, natural resources became the basis for Vancouver's economy. The dominance of the economy by big business was accompanied by an often militant labor movement. Other social movements, including the first wave feminist, moral reform, and temperance movements, were also instrumental in Vancouver's development. Today, Vancouver is one of the most ethnically and linguistically diverse cities in Canada, with 52% of its residents not being native English speakers and around half of the residents belonging to visible minority groups. The city has a population of over 650,000 people, with the metro population as a whole at over 2.6 million, making it Canada's third largest metro area. The summers are short and comfortable, with an average high temperature of 72 degrees Fahrenheit and a low average of 57 degrees Fahrenheit. The winters are long, cold, and wet, with an average high of 43 degrees Fahrenheit to a low of 36 degrees Fahrenheit. As a bustling west coast seaport surrounded by mountains, Vancouver is not only diverse ethnically, but also in landscape. So with all that covered, let's dive in. Our first tourist stop is one of the city's most popular attractions located in North Vancouver, a 15-minute drive from downtown and open every day except Christmas. Capilano Suspension Bridge Park. The park's main appeal, the Capilano Suspension Bridge, was originally built in 1889 and is a 450-foot-long treetop bridge offering scenic views of the forest. If you admire the thrill of heights and gorgeous rainforest views at 230 feet above the ground, this spot is for you. During the winter months of November to January, the world-famous bridge is lit end-to-end with a multi-color changing display, adding to the magic of crossing the canyon. Another seeking feature the park has to offer is their newest addition, the Cliff Walk. This heart-stopping cliffside journey guides you on a series of unobtrusive suspended walkways jutting out from the granite cliff face above Capilano River to previously unexplored areas of the park. If you have trauma from watching too many movies as a kid with quicksand, caves with booby traps, and suspension bridges breaking only to be saved at the last moment by the main character grabbing your hand preventing your unfortunate death, the park also offers other nature features and history experiences such as treetop adventures and story center. All park attractions are included in the price of admission, which is around $60 for adults, and it's recommended you buy tickets online. Pro tip, just 15 minutes east is the Lynn Canyon Suspension Bridge. Just as beautiful, if not more, than Capilano, this bridge sits in a 617-acre forest with waterfalls, hiking trails, and swimming holes. If you're looking to save money and time, I'd recommend Lynn Canyon as the entrance is free and the bridge is shorter. Next, we head to Vancouver's first and largest urban park that offers beaches, trails, cultural and historical landmarks, a scenic seawall, and a wide range of other unforgettable experiences for all ages and interests. Stanley Park. Making up the northwestern half of Vancouver's downtown peninsula, At right over 1,000 acres, Stanley Park is about 1/5 larger than New York City's Central Park. Suck it, New York. From multiple beaches to Shakespearean and rock gardens and a variety of restaurants to unique landmarks, the park has countless features you could spend a whole day exploring. The park is also home to the Vancouver Aquarium, which is Canada's largest aquarium and is used as a center for marine research, ocean literacy education, conservation, and marine animal rehabilitation. Hike, bike, or skate the Stanley Park Seawall Trail, a 5.8-mile loop along the water that is the most used feature within the park and the most popular recreational spot in the city. There's also multiple ways to rent a bike to explore the park. Either the City Share Bikes, Mobi, which has multiple stations located in the park, or any of the bike rental places stationed just out the park entrance. You could also bike or walk from Stanley Park to the North Shore via the Lionsgate Bridge. At just over a mile long, the bridge is worth the venture just to take in the awesome city views. The last highlight of the park worth mentioning is the collection of the 9 First Nations totem poles, sourced from remote areas in British Columbia. Since there's obviously a lot to do in this park, I'd recommend you dedicate a whole day just to explore the nooks and crannies. Heading from the park to our next destination, it's recommended you take a short ferry across False Creek to Granville Island, a charming cultural and artistic islet known for a daily public market with 50+ food vendors. Granville Island Public Market. This indoor market features an array of food and produce stores that attracts millions of visitors each year from Vancouver and around the world. Choose from a variety of specialty meats at Oyama Sausage Company and artisan cheeses from Benton Brothers to eat with a fresh loaf of bread from Terra Breads, or pick up an authentic Montreal-style bagel or bagel sandwich from Seagulls. For something sweet, grab a filled, iced, or cake donut from the iconic longtime food stall, Lee's Donuts. Once you've bought more than you can eat, head outside and seek out a busker for some amusing street performing. My motto is, the more instruments, the more entertaining. Because like most grown, mature adults, I'm easily stimulated by shiny objects and loud noises. You can also head next door to the Net Loft shops for handcrafted gifts and paper goods, or grab a frothy pint from the Granville Island Brewery nearby. With more than 300 businesses operating on the island, you can easily find something for everyone. Just a 10-minute drive south of the market, located in a Shaughnessy neighborhood, is this 55-acre oasis with over 7,500 plant species and varieties from around the world. VanDusen Botanical Garden, named for local lumberman and philanthropist Whitford Julian VanDusen. Of course, Vancouver names things after woodchoppers. Oh, what are you laughing at, Americans? We have a mountain with Confederate soldiers carved into it, and a city in West Virginia named after a well-endowed vegetable. So I don't want to hear it. Anyway, this lovely destination offers ever-changing greenery, flowers, and art installations. Not only are there displays of plants from all over the world, there's also an extensive collection of native British Columbia plants as part of the garden's outreach program to rescue native plants for reintroduction into Vancouver's regional parks. In addition to water features, carved totem poles, a small Japanese garden, and massive stone sculptures, the garden is also home to one of only 6 Elizabethan hedge mazes in North America. The maze is made of 3,000 pyramidal cedars, all planted in the autumn of 1981 and slowly grown into the form of the maze today. Tickets are typically no more than $12 a visitor, and last time we checked, you can only get tickets in person. 5 minutes east, you'll find the last spot of the tourist section. This urban landmark, located on top of Little Mountain in the heart of Vancouver, features manicured gardens, sculptures, and multiple sports courts. Queen Elizabeth Park. At over 400 feet above sea level, this is the highest point in Vancouver and makes for pleasant views of the park, city, and mountains on the North Shore. This 130-acre park has much to explore, including a quarry garden, an arboretum, fountains, and a multitude of recreational offerings such as tennis, lawn bowling, and pitch and putt. The park is also home to the stunning Bloedel Conservatory. This domed glass house is home to more than 100 exotic birds and 500 exotic plants and flowers that thrive within its temperature-controlled environment. After all that, you can savor the fine dining experience within the park at Seasons in the Park, with prime rib night on Sundays and prime views of the city. I wrote that. Do not judge me. I am sensitive. Now, let's head to the nature and recreational section of the video. You could start your outdoorsy day by grabbing some labneh on flatbread from the soon-to-be mentioned Manoush'eh, or you can make a smarter choice with today's sponsor, Magic Spoon, a healthy cereal that tastes too good to be true. If you're like me, you check a second bag just to bring the world's best sugar-free cereal. I start my day off right with a bowl. The frosted flavors, my favorite. I may even just bring it with me to go on my adventure. No, Jacob, not like that. That's better. Click the link below to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use the promo code VENTURE at checkout to get $5 off any order. Or go to magicspoon.com/venture. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. So click the link below and use code VENTURE for $5 off, or go to magicspoon.com/venture to save $5 today. Now, back to the video. If you're one of those people whose ideal vacation entails disconnecting with a book and/or drink in hand while sitting on a beach all day, then this one's for you, and you have some choices. Along the English Bay, we'll start with English Bay Beach. These sands have volleyball courts and a restaurant, Cactus Club Cafe, that also features a concession stand seasonally. Next door, you'll find Sunset Beach Park. This park also offers a sandy shore, as well as an open lawn, and it's perfect for sunbathing, lawn sports, and sunset views. My favorite feature, of course, is the stranded barge that got washed up back in November 2021. Locals' opinions are mixed, but I personally prefer the novelty and think it adds character to the park. Look, they even made a little sign for it. And on the other side of False Creek lies Kitsilano Beach Park, which is home to the longest swimming pool in Canada, Kitsilano Pool, open annually from May to September. As of right now, the pool's actually closed due to storm damage, but it's expected to open in a few weeks at the end of July 2022. Next, we head to West Vancouver, known for the Point Atkinson Lighthouse, located at the southernmost tip of the peninsula and made up of 182 acres of mostly rainforest. We have Lighthouse Park. This popular attraction is a National Historic Site of Canada that is open year-round. Although the lighthouse is the main draw, there's also an abundance of vegetation and hiking trails throughout the park. There's the Lighthouse Park Viewpoint Loop Trail. That's a 3.6-mile loop with a 875-foot elevation gain. This loop travels around the perimeter of the park, which allows for you to take in all the views. Be aware that the parking lot fills up pretty quickly on nice sunny weekends, so be prepared to wait for a spot. Back to the water we go, this time heading to the far east side of North Vancouver. Only a half hour away from downtown, in the heart of Deep Cove, is a canoe, paddleboard, and kayak rental service of the Indian Arm that's been operating for over 35 years, Deep Cove Kayak Center. Here, they offer hourly, daily, or weekly rentals, as well as pre-scheduled lesson programs for beginners and those experienced alike. Many wildlife are often spotted, including jellyfish, seals, and even whales if you're lucky. The Indian Arm as a whole is an 11-mile fjord with calm waters and alluring scenery that makes for the perfect escape away from the city and into the wilderness. The center operates full-time from April through October with limited operations during the rest of the year. There's numerous islands and other locations to explore on the Indian Arm, so I recommend you pack a lunch and kayak out to Jug Island or way further to see some waterfalls. The parking at the Cove is also extremely limited. A lot of people would actually recommend that you carpool or take public transportation. Let's head to the peak of Vancouver, literally. With a few ski mountains to choose from, this has been the most popular for both locals and tourists for more than a century. Towering behind Vancouver, this mountain is named for the large game bird commonly found throughout, Grouse Mountain. In winter, hit the slopes for any of your typical snow activities or ice skating at Grouse Mountain Resort. And in the summer, the resort features all kinds of attractions, like lumberjack shows. Literally, watch red plaid wearing paper towel mascot looking ass men competing in different events to see who's the top lumberjack. Hell yeah. There's also the Birds in Motion show, where you can witness some of nature's finest athletes, a scenic chairlift ride to the peak 4,100 feet above sea level, an 18-hole disc golf course, mountain biking, ziplining, tandem paragliding, a kid's treehouse canopy adventure, and so much more. Year-round, you could take the Skyride gondola for astounding views or visit the grizzly bear habitat. And coming sometime in summer 2022 is the Eye of the Wind, which will be the world's first and only wind turbine that allows you to stand in a clear glass view pod at the top of the tower and take in the 360-degree views of Vancouver. Alright, now it wouldn't be a Destinations Explained video without recommending a road trip. And this one is worth it for the epic drive alone. From downtown Vancouver to the final destination totals around 75 miles, but there's several highlights I suggest you stop by along the way. Hop in your rental car and head almost an hour north until we hit our first stop, Squamish, British Columbia. Squamish is a quaint town which includes First Nation reserves of the Squamish Nation and emphasizes outdoor recreational tourism to help the town's economy. Squamish is home to the Stiwamis Chief, a huge granite monolith that towers over the Howe Sound. The best way to explore it is by trekking the epic Stiwamis Chief Trail. Although it's only a 3.7-mile loop, the challenge comes from the 2,100-foot elevation gain, mainly by climbing large stairway steps, chains, and ladders to the end. But once you reach the top, the breathtaking views will be gratifying. Nearby, there's also Shannon Falls Provisional Park, where you can visit British Columbia's third highest waterfall, cascading 1,100 feet down a series of cliffs. Shannon Falls Lookout Trail is the best way to view the downrush and is only a quick 0.6-mile loop with less than 130 feet in elevation gain. Before leaving Squamish, the last thing to do is take the Sea to Sky gondola. The ride up to the summit provides views of the Howe Sound, Shannon Falls, the coastal forest, and surrounding mountains. Once at the top, there's a great deal of sights to experience, including the Sky Pilot suspension bridge, various hiking and walking trails, rock climbing, and multiple dining options. Before making it all the way into downtown Whistler, heading 30 minutes north up the road, stop at Brandywine Falls Provisional Park, which presents a waterfall over a wall of volcanic rocks. The Brandywine Trail provides striking views of the waterfall at just 3.6 miles out and back. Round out the road trip with the remaining 15-minute drive further north, ending in Whistler, which is home to the largest ski resort in North America, Whistler Blackcomb. Besides skiing and snowboarding, the area offers snowshoeing, tobogganing, and ski jumping at the Olympic Park, a venue that was used for the 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympics, where Mother Canada claimed gold against the US in overtime in men's ice hockey. So don't be mad at me about that comment I made about the Canucks. The town itself is a compact, pedestrian village that has restaurants, breweries, and shops for you to visit. Look, I know that was a lot of information there, but as always, check the description below for lots of helpful links and other information. Before we move on, let's bring on an actual local to get some cool recommendations. Today, we have Yuri from @YuriFoodie on Instagram, so let's see what they have to recommend. Hey Yuri, how's it going today?
Hi, good, how are you?
Good. So we just wrapped up our nature section of the video and we just want to get some suggestions from our local. What would you do around Vancouver for fun outside?
I highly recommend checking Jericho Beach. It's 20 minutes from downtown and they have a really beautiful walk, like the road beside the water. So you can take a walk there and then the view is really beautiful. You get to see the mountain from there. Also, there is a lake called Cultus Lake. If you don't mind driving there, it's 1.5 hour drive from Vancouver. It's really beautiful, and then they have a water park and everything, so you get to have a great time with your family and friends.
Well, Yuri, those two sound amazing. Thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me today.
Okay, we get it. Vancouver and the surrounding areas are enchanting and have extraordinary sights with lots to see and do. But now it's time to eat. As a shocker to no one who's been watching this channel for a while, the first place that I'm recommending is ramen. With its first location opening in Japan back in 2001, this ramen eatery found itself in Vancouver in 2013. Marutama Ramen. This ramen stands out for its creamy, 100% pure chicken broth and daily made in-house noodles. Don't forget to add the soft-boiled egg and fried garlic. The line may be a bit extensive out the door, but it moves fast and it's well worth it. Nearby is another Japanese cuisine favorite, sushi. This sophisticated, high-dollar sushi restaurant is located on Vancouver's harbor's waterfront and is known as the first eatery to execute the aburi-style sushi in the city. Miku. Aburi style simply means the sushi is flame-seared. The most popular order is the kiseki, which is a traditional multi-course dinner. Inspired by this tradition, the chefs offer 2 multi-course menus featuring their signature aburi-style cuisine served on beautiful handmade flatware from Japan. There's a lot of amazing Japanese restaurants in Vancouver, so bear with me. Next, let's head to Chinatown to eat at a Italian-Japanese restaurant? That's what the notes say, so anyway, this stylish space is inspired by the Tokyo jazz cafes from the 1960s, Kissa Tanto, meaning house of plenty. This restaurant found the similarities in each cuisine's mutual love of noodles, rice, and proteins in their pure, uncooked forms, and pump out favorites such as octopus salad, fish crudo, and tagliarini. Definitely stay for a cocktail or two. Their reservations are typically booked weeks or months in advance, so I recommend you try to snag seats at the bar later in the evening, either by yourself or with 1 or 2 others. Now, that was 3 Japanese restaurants in a row. Surely the next one will be different. Let's head to the comforts of the Caribbean with a dash of Japan. You heard that right. At this black-owned Japaribian restaurant, they made that word up, not me. There may be all-day breakfast, but it's all about the Jamaican comfort food at the Lion's Den Cafe. With everything from jerk chicken to curried goat and oxtail stew to okonomiyaki, this cozy hole-in-the-wall spot is made even better by the warm welcome that the owners provide. The cafe has been around for over 20 years and has been offering affordable and delicious fusion plates ever since. Next, we have the only Indigenous-owned and operated restaurant in Vancouver. Also woman-owned, this restaurant is known for its native Canadian menu that uses traditional ingredients and flavors to create modern dishes. Salmon and Bannock. As their name indicates, they offer a menu of wild fish and different offerings like their Bannock, which is an indigenous preparation of flatbread. However, their most popular menu item is their bison pot roast, which roasts for 24 hours until it's melt-in-your-mouth tender. They also offer other Pacific Northwest options, for instance, rotating flavored game sausage, candied salmon, and pemmican mousse, which is basically fat, dried meat and berries. Hey, don't knock it till you try it. We continue our diverse food tour of Vancouver with this Syrian/Lebanese spot, named for the national cherished pie of Lebanon in which it serves with a variety of toppings. It's Manoush'eh. These baked flatbreads are traditionally topped with za'atar and eaten on the go. They also offer savory toppings ranging from goat cheese to hot pepper paste to spiced ground beef or falafel. You can also get one with Nutella and bananas. However, if you're gonna go sweet, you have to get the kunefa, a Middle Eastern crunchy top dessert layered with cheese and soaked in sugar syrup. This is an easy must try, even if for just a snack in between meals to get a little taste of Beirut and Vancouver. Operating since 1985, this joint specializes in classic American cuisine and is popular amongst both locals and tourists. Named after an absolute Vancouver legend who served as the city's first official lifeguard, we have Joe Forte's Seafood and Chop House. Whether you come in for lunch, brunch, or dinner, you're gonna spend a pretty penny. If you want the experience of Joe's for a fraction of the price, you can hit up happy hour between 3 and 5 every day and grab our favorite treat, the mini lobster and shrimp rolls. I, however, suggest you get the whole Joe's experience, 3-tier seafood tower, premium oysters, and pork chops. The restaurant itself is 3 stories, with plenty of chandeliers and an occasional piano player. You can sit at the Horseshoe Oyster Bar or head outside to the rooftop garden to enjoy a drink by the outdoor fireplace. With countless fresh fish, signature cocktails, and decadent desserts, you'll leave Joe's feeling satisfied, and perhaps with an overdrafted bank account. Let's end the food recommendations on a casual note. This local chain, with 4 different locations in Vancouver, serves meat-centric sandwiches and perhaps one of the least innovative named establishments in North America, Meat and Bread. Besides their dumbass name, this place is actually really good. They offer 3 signature sandwiches with a rotating weekly feature, and here, a hot dog is a sandwich. Along with their subs, there's a few side options, but they keep their menu simple with a focus on high-quality ingredients and strong culinary skill. The staple sandwich is their porchetta, with salsa verde and crackling. And don't forget to order one of their sandwich dips, truffle parmesan, habanero cilantro cream, or sweet chipotle. They're only open during lunch, but that hasn't stopped them from serving alcohol, because nothing's more Canadian than going back to the office with a marinara stain on your shirt and IPA breath. For coffee, this spot was opened by four brothers in 2011, after traveling abroad to get inspired by some of the world's most influential cafes. Revolver. This coffee shop offers a fresh-to-order coffee menu and baked goods. They also sell bags of coffee beans to go and enough cute coffee accessories to bankrupt my girlfriend. Although the place is rather compact, they offer quite a unique coffee shop experience by brewing all drinks in full view on a bar top taking up most of the room. If you're looking to try something new and different, choose from one of their few espresso flight options. Revolver is located in Vancouver's oldest neighborhood, Gastown. This trendy neighborhood houses aged architecture mixed with some of the city's hottest restaurants. Make sure to stop by the Gastown Steam Clock. Powered partially by steam, Gastown's well-known antique-style clock was built in 1977 and whistles every 15 minutes to tell the time. Because back then, locals needed screaming vapor to let them know that they're late to their kids' curling tournament. Don't fact check me on that. What first started as an ice cream tricycle at the Vancouver farmers markets now has 4 locations throughout town. Earnest Ice Cream. They craft small batch ice cream with a focus on local, seasonal ingredients and creative flavors, engaging in environmental practices, such as packing their pints in reusable glass jars. You can't go wrong with one of their original flavors, like whiskey hazelnut or London fog. However, you should definitely at least sample their seasonal flavors, namely their cardamom sugar cookie or miso ginger. There's also many vegan options as well. The shops themselves are clean and sleek, so stop by for a scoop, pint, sundae, or ice cream sandwich. Real quick, let's bring back Yuri from @YuriFoodie on Instagram one more time and check out their favorite spots to eat in Vancouver. Hey Yuri, just had to have you back on one more time. We are on the restaurant section of the video and we gotta know, what do you like to eat around Vancouver?
They have a lot of good breakfast places in Vancouver. One of them is OEB Breakfast, and they have a lot of options to choose from. I highly recommend checking their poutines. They have great poutines there. I really like their poutines. If you're looking for something Vancouver, like Japanese thing, then I highly recommend checking Kingyo. They have authentic Japanese food there. Their vibe is great. You can go with your friends or family or like even for a date. Customer service is great. I love their food. There's another place I want to recommend is Bunchaka Hoang again. It's a Vietnamese place. It's located in a small like Saigon place, Vietnamese place. And they have delicious pho there. They use grilled crab in the soup, and then they have like tomato soup based like pho there. It's really delicious, and they always have a long lineup. But I highly recommend checking them out if you have time.
That's like in a little Saigon, like a little Vietnamese neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's the best one there?
I would say so. Yeah, I really like their place. Yeah.
Awesome. Starting off the nightlife section of the video, we head back to Gastown to one of my dearest types of places, a bar with 50 craft beers on tap and a simple but delightful menu. Alibi Room. Located in a century-old historic building along the rail yard, Alibi Room has a laid-back and friendly vibe with both indoor and outdoor seating. They carefully curate their beer list and refresh it a couple of times a week, ensuring they have a selection of the latest and best local hops, occasionally pouring a selection from US craft breweries. Though if you're overwhelmed with all the options, just ask the bartenders to help you pick out a flight. Hungry? Get a charcuterie board to share or choose one of their delicious burger or sandwich options. One of Alibi Room's owners, Nigel Springthorpe, also runs Brass Neck Brewing, so I'd recommend starting off with one of their brews. Yes, I'm about to recommend you go to a bar that's located on the first floor of the medical center in Chinatown. But it's not weird unless you make it weird. And they take it to the next level by making this an apothecary-themed cocktail hangout, the Keefer Bar. With over 25 unique cocktails and Asian-inspired plates, this pub has a dark and vibey aesthetic, as well as a patio next door with live music, graffiti murals, and putt-putt. One of their most popular cocktails is the Rosemary Gimlet, which they describe as tart, herbaceous, and fresh. In fact, they give flavor profiles for all their signature and seasonal cocktails. to eat, you can go simple with the dim sum or go for the obviously delicious choice, Peking duck crepes. They also have one of the most popular happy hours in the city, so make sure to check that out, going on every day from 4 to 6 p.m. This next spot is a small batch craft distillery in the heart of East Vancouver that's dedicated to combining old world distilling traditions with new world ingredients and ingenuity to create a family of spirits that entice and intrigue. Odd Society Spirits. This distillery, housed in a converted motorcycle garage, offers a tasting lounge, a distillery bottle shop, as well as a patio. Along with samples and cocktails of their liquors, they also serve local brews and wines. From gin to whiskey to vodka, the distillery offers classic and seasonal cocktails, as well as a daily shooter and condensed food menu. They also have an all-day happy hour on Thursdays and Sundays for a select few drinks. Their website shares recipes for some of the distillery's treasured cocktails made with their liquors. If you're going in a group, they also offer punch bowls that serve 2 to 4 people, or just one really sad individual. Located on Main Street, our next spot will transport you to a Polynesian night. This 1960s-style tiki lounge is dedicated to creating the ultimate island experience. From the dimly lit rooms with no visible windows to the strong tropical drinks and Oceania eats, we have the Shameful Tiki Room. While they have snacks and shareable plates like nachos and a poo-poo platter, it's definitely all about the libations and overall environment. Here, they pride themselves on their cocktails they make as close to the original tiki formulas as possible, down to the garnishes and glassware. For the overall experience, it's highly recommended that you get one of their 3 shareable bowls that are delivered to your table, lit on fire, and accompanied by the sound of a gong. Or just get a normal drink. Occasionally, there may be a live band performing classic surf music or enticing hula dancers. It's very typical that there's a wait, so I'd recommend getting a reservation. For the last bar scene destination, we're heading 30 minutes south to Richmond. But don't be scared, this drive is so worth it. Open all day, every day, this locally owned and operated award-winning brewery hosts live events, is home to a series of arcade and board games, and has a large patio for visitors to enjoy their beers in the outdoors. Fuggles and Warlock's Craftworks. They opened in 2015 with an appreciation for video games, science fiction, and geek culture being the ideals behind their brand. Here, they strive to produce eclectic variations of classic brews. Try some of their more popular ones, like the Kiwami Plum Sour, which is a delicately tart wheat kettle sour brewed with fresh plums, or the Destiny IPA, with tropical aromas of clementine, peach, and passion fruit. Hell, here's 12 more unique brews: a lemon kolsch, guava sour, double rye IPA, espresso milk stout, blueberry vanilla ale, goji sour IPA, Mexican saison, gin and lime pilsner, chocolate hazelnut Belgian stout, mango wit, strawberry wit, and a pear and Sancho pepper grisette. I don't know what half those words are, but I do know that they're worth the visit. Overall, I'm really impressed with Vancouver. The nature scene is close to none, and the restaurants are hard-hitting. I'm feeling a decent to strong 9 on this city. Transition. I make surveys here on YouTube to let you the people pick the next city, so subscribe and keep an eye out for the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video, and while you're at it, comment which city I should do next down below.